Namo Buddhaya, Namo Tamaya, Namo Sankhaya. So we're at the cemetery here. Venerable Lee is holding my phone. I wanted to share with you some of the scenery that's out here. We have gravestones. We have the mausoleum that is here against the walls here. I'm coming closer, and very soon we'll be giving you all teachings and empirical reports of is there life after death? And after we die, where do we go? And most of my teachings and citations will be from the University of Virginia Perceptual Studies Department. It lies within the Department of Psychiatry. And a lot of us ask, where do we go after we die? In Buddhism, you will take rebirth. One of 6 rebirth realms. You all can actually Google that. 6 rebirth realms. Venerable Lee is training with me and studying under me. One night he came across a video where of which a security guard was in a cemetery, and there were rooms similar to this mausoleum, and he says, well, you need to come out and you need to get out of here. And there was a voice that says, get out, a female voice that chased him away. And he says, F this is why the last security guy quit. Brought curiosity into Venerable Lee's mind as to whether or not ghosts actually exist, whether or not they're real. I've given many accounts and reports of my own empirical observations and feelings while at certain people's homes and certain hallways, including my best friend who passed away, Jacob Hall. So I just wanted to gather all of the evidence necessary to give you all the necessary teachings to understand. Now, why is this important for the living? It's simple. We know that they get pissed off. We know that certain ghosts, certain people who have died, rebirth into the hungry ghost realm. Certain people who have died obviously had attachment, worldly attachment to their kids, children, material things, place, settings, and they're mad. Clearly, they don't want humans to be around. They just want their own peace and space. What strikes me at this particular cemetery, I will show you all, is number one, it's not a very well kept cemetery. The flowers are everywhere. It's fallen down. If you remember the past image just now, no one's here to pick it up. To remind the dead that, yeah, we're still taking care of this place, your home, your peaceful home. But look at this right here. This is very compelling for me as a monk. And as a person who is investigating death and life after death and ghosts, the ghost realms, you come here at night, you're going to encounter some. This tells me perhaps a ghost was mad, angry, perhaps kicking the top of this door. Because if it was human like me, living humans, it would kick down here. You have to ask yourself, how are you going to live your life in a non-attached way? So that if you die, you're not going to come back as a hungry ghost, mad, angry, resentful of the things that has happened to you here on this earth. Who did you wrong? Why did they do you wrong? And for how long? Some of the ghosts hang on to these things. They haunt people. They go back to where they were most attached to. No different than a sheriff deputy, retired K-9, Manatee County Sheriff's Office, that shared a story where he went to the barn and the barn was burned down, where he saw the grandfather and, was it the daughter?
I think it was the granddaughter, maybe.
Something like that. And he looked in his headlights, and his K-9 was barking because he could see the ghost, the grandfather and the daughter hanging out there. It brings sadness to my heart because obviously they were very attached to that place. That was their home. That was their barn. And one must ask, our current attachment to people, place, and things, to our money, to our loved ones. Look at your husband, look at your wife, look at your kids. How attached are you to them? And if they pass away tomorrow, how would you feel? It leads us more into the practice of non-detachment so that we can live more free. good life equals a good death. So if you live your life more free, non-attached, seeing things as they are, not subjected to and veer towards greed, anger, and ignorance of the Four Noble Truths, then I believe that you would have a smooth sail towards the transitions of your next life. And if you study this with me, and if you hear what has to be said, you'll be more prepared for death. You will know how to live life wisely and intelligently. In that way, the Buddha have said, those who live wisely don't even fear death. And so today is just a reminder that eventually death is certain, right? Taxes and death is certain. And one day we will lay here, and one day I will lay here with you. And the question becomes, are we going to be a happy ghost or an angry ghost? Are we going to rebirth into the heavenly realm, the demigod's realm? Who knows where we go? All we can do is narrow it down to a science of the workings of the law of cause and effect, karma, and shape and mold our future by and through the body, speech, and mind, dedicating our body, speech, and mind, which is our actions, for the benefit of other people. By giving more and taking less, we can craft our karma so that we have a more favorable rebirth versus unfavorable rebirth. I invite you all to join me on YouTube and across all of my social media platforms into this new topic, study and practice of the ghost realm and of the perceptual studies arena within the University of Virginia as presented by them and their longitudinal studies of 50 years into life after death and near-death experience, NDEs. May you all be well, be happy, be free. May you reflect on these important teachings and its beneficial application for your life. Until the very next time. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.